Hey there, Taylor Ellwood here, and I'm a little late to my own show tonight. I apologize for that, but I got some really good news, so things just kind of were I was a little occupied with that. These things happen. But tonight I thought I would do a video on how I use candles in magic because I was asked among other things. I put out a thing recently like, what do you want me to do videos about? And that was one of the topics, so why not? And in fact, I do use candles in magic. In fact, here's a candle that I've used pretty well. This candle actually is used when I do the sphere of artwork. I light it at the very beginning of the sphere of art ritual, and then at the end I blow it out. And it's actually something that's done traditionally, I should say, in the sphere of art. In other words, like when I've worked with RJ and other people, they've used a candle. So I thought that's interesting. Why not do it? And I like the ambience of a candle. I like the way the light of a candle. So it made sense to me. It's kind of that flickering light in in the sphere. It's something that also at the same time it helps to embody the sphere because when you're doing it, you're kind of lighting it and saying, okay, here I'm making this sacred space. I'm getting ready to intentionally do this work. And then when I blow it out, I'm saying, okay, I'm going to blow it forward to the next time. So it's another one of those tools that actually, in a very real sense, kind of also manages to evoke the sphere when it's lit. And so that is one of the reasons why I use it. Um, I have used candle magic before for some other things. One of the approaches that I've used candles for example, is cutting like a sigil in the candle, and then burning the candle and using that to activate the sigil. A sigil, in this case, for those of you who don't know, is a symbol that you create to represent a specific concept or result or something else that you want to work with magically to manifest. The other thing that I use, I mean, I do use candles obviously for ritual work, like with the sphere of art. But one of the other things that I have sometimes used candle for is to represent the element of fire. And I've also used candles for the purposes of scrying. So sometimes when if I want to do a form of scrying is a form of divination. If I want to do that, I can look into the candle flame and pay close attention to whatever shapes or things appear in it that might help me read a potential a possibility. Don't use it as much these days because, quite frankly, I have other means that work really well, but it is something I have used it for in the past. Realistically, when I look at candles, and as far as magic goes, I mean, I'll admit I don't use them for a lot of things. I do use them on occasion. What I like about candles is the ambience of the light. The way that it creates a specific atmosphere that artificial light just doesn't create. It's something. It's that flickering light. It's that light that is there against the dark. It's something that's not steady. It flickers. It it shows up as it needs to, and yet it's a quiet little presence in its own way. I mean, that's what I like about using candles in magical workings, because you're helping to create this sacred space, and you're using the candlelight as a way to create the lighting for it. And that is one of the ways that I will do when I do rituals sometimes, where I'm doing something where I'm trying to go into an intense state of mind. If I'm throwing on some specific music for that, I may also turn on, light some candles to help create that ambience and create the space that I'm seeking to manifest within that particular um, state of mind. And using the candlelight as a way to help trigger that is fascinating to me, because it kind of goes back to to a time before we had artificial light. It taps into something more primordial, and that in and of itself can be very useful for reaching a deeper altered state of mind. So that's pretty much it. I mean, this is a short video because, quite frankly, that's basically what I use candles for, and I'm not going to take up too much of your time here. But I wanted to share that because I was asked about it, and I thought it would be an interesting video to do for the purposes of just sharing. These are some of the things that I do with candles. Okay. Next week we're going to get into something very interesting. I actually, well, sometime in the next couple weeks. Because I did have another request that I might do first. But we're going to get into something very interesting in the next couple weeks. And the only hint I'm going to give you is that it's going to be about pop culture magic. So we'll talk more about that later. All right. Take care and talk to you soon.